What's going on, guys? It's your boy Trolltech here for another video. So we are finally here with the TXT Suchita episode. So I've been on the lookout for this for a while. I've been meaning to watch it for a while. And I was gonna do a TXT video today. I was gonna do a TXT to do episode, but then I was like, wait, let's just do the Suchita episode today. Because I've been meaning to do it anyway. So this episode is YEONJUN and Taehyun. I think that's how I say his name. That's who it is today. And it's been a while since we've watched any of the Suchita content, so I do want to get more into the Suchita stuff again. So that's definitely gonna be more of that happening in the near future. But yeah, so I guess without further ado, let's get into this reaction. Move this. Episode 8 of Suchita. Here we go. Only thing I know what to expect from this is that YEONJUN getting absolutely smashed, because we watched a compilation, like a short snippet of this on YouTube. But let's do this. Such a banger, bro. Such a banger of a song. Suchita, time to get tipsy? Well, I think YEONJUN gets a bit more than tipsy.
자, 가봅시다. 자, 오늘의 게스트. 나 연준이야, 이거?
YEONJUN.
끼를 한껏 뿌렸네.
My man's like, is this the baby?
마음이 참 좋습니다. 이름.
Because you gotta think, YEONJUN is a child. Even YEONJUN is the oldest. TXT is a child for Yoongi. You know what I mean? Because Yoongi is what, 92, 93 or some shit? So there's 7 years between them.
연준, 태연. 인원 2명.
Wait, is it? So 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98. Yeah, there's 7 years because YEONJUN is a 99 liner, I'm pretty sure.
야망이 빛나는 아티스트 선배님, 저희 오픈 일부터 예약해놓고 한참 기다렸는데 드디어 저희 차례 지금 만나러 갑니다. 투모로우바이 투게더.
Here we go. It's gonna be interesting, actually.
많이 싸들고 왔네.
바리바리 싸들고 왔습니다.
Ma.
앨범이 한 설마?
That light was about to come right off.
왜 너야? 픽션. 레어한 겁니다. 네, 앉아.
아, 네.
활동 거의 끝나지 않았나?
네, 끝났습니다.
아무튼 이게 뭐 예약한 이유가
형이랑 편하게 술 한잔 싶어서.
일단 빌보드 201위 가수
They're so shy.
합니다.
아닙니다.
빌보드 202위.
Oh, nice.
이 친구들 정말 너무너무 이번에 앨범 잘
I need to get into their discography a bit more, because I think I've only listened to maybe 5 or 6 songs from TXT. I definitely need to get more into their discography. Maybe tomorrow I might do a stream, just being smashing through a dozen songs or something. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
네, 맞습니다. 무난하게 발렌타인 21년으로.
나는 이제 연준이랑 또 술 먹어봤고 이제 태연이랑 또 술 먹어봤고 일단 둘 다 술 잘 먹습니다. 정말 잘 먹어서 항상 다음날 힘들었어요.
I don't think YEONJUN could hold his liquor based on the snippets I've seen, but we'll see.
간간히 보기는 했었었는데 투모로우바이 투게더는 술 마시기 전에 무슨 건배사 같은 걸 한다고 노래 제목을 넣어가지고
네. 굿보이 하면은 건배 하시면 됩니다. 네.
굿보이 건배! 아니 나 두 분의 앨범이 잘 돼가지고 마음이 좋아 나도. 참 이 친구들이 그렇게 노력을 했던 것들이 이제 사람들이 알아봐 주는구나 이런. 나는 곡 나왔을 때부터 너무 좋더라고. 그리고 나는 나오기 전에도 들어봤고.
처음으로 막 이렇게 한국 음원 차트에서
Survived.
살아남고 정말 약간 체감할 수 있는 그런 것들이 있었던 것 같아요.
근데 이번에 빌보드 200 차트 1위도 하고 음원 차트 지금 상위권에 있고 최소 연차 초동 더블 밀리언셀러
That's crazy.
아니 이거
입으로 듣기.
초동도 218만 장을 찍었다는데
That's crazy,
이거
man.
어떤 느낌인지 너무 잘하니까 이게 항상 이야기하지만 요 수치가 요렇게 갈 거라고 했던 거 그대로 가는데
그 상향되는 곡선에 명확하게 봐서.
Yeah, it would be. It would feel mad.
3주 동안 되게 진짜 막참 뭐죠? 아까 저희 챌린지 했던
Especially if you
것처럼
contextualize
매일
in K-pop, like there's so many just groups that just fade off into mediocrity, you know? Like obviously the groups that are famous, but like in general, there's probably like 70 to 80% of groups that just they might have one big song and then they just fade off or they break up or something happens. Like so like seeing your success continuously rise would be like kind of like a sigh of relief almost. Because yeah, like okay, yeah, we made it.
안 힘들더라고요.
그치, 잘 되면 뭐 안 졸리지
네.
그리고 이번에 인기가요에서
아,
1일 내셨다.
울었잖아요.
데뷔하고 나서 인기가
너 인기가요 MC야
네. 그래서 좀 되게 의미가 남아.
Oh, yeah, he
서사가 있는 게
does MC that
저희가
one show, yeah, true.
뮤직뱅크 처음 상 받았을 1위 했을 때가 수빈이 형이 KBS
그치
MC하고
그치
있었고
그거 하고 있었지
또 이번에 인기가요도 연준이 하고 있을 때 받아갖고
아 근데 뭐 서로 눈물이 좀 많아?
여기가 제일
저는 좀 많은 편인 것 같아요.
Yeonjun does give me like very
우는 캐릭터도 필요하다.
emotional dude that cries at everything vibes, which is not a bad thing. It's honestly, I wish I was like that. I wish I could be the dude that cries at everything and like is so emotionally vulnerable and open, but nah, it doesn't work.
우리도 막 멤버들이 너무 눈물이 많으니까 옆에서 보고 있으면 되게 좀 짠할 때가 좀 많더라고
누가 제일 많이 우세요?
우리 정국이
Yeah, that was immediately as soon. I was thinking either like, I was thinking either Jungkook or actually who's the next most emotional person in BTS? I don't know. Hey, maybe nah. Jin's always smiling and shit, so like he seems like he's emotionally vulnerable and stuff, but he's not really. Like he's always hiding it behind. I don't know. I think Jungkook. I can't think of who's the second most emotionally. Maybe J-Hope. Maybe J-Hope. I'm thinking.
저희 맨 처음에 형 콘서트 갔을 때 그때 형 오셨어요.
언제였지?
영포에 뭐
네,
아 한국에서 체조했을 때
네 맞아요.
I've never seen Yoongi cry though
아,
yet.
근데 저도 보면서
So I haven't got into heaps of their content yet. So. Oh wait, I've seen this clip actually. No, I've seen this clip. I've seen this clip. Yeah, I've seen it.
그럼 부모님이 다 계시니까
그러니까요.
보였어요.
나 봐봤어
아 그거
이렇게
And his like, if I remember correctly, Yoongi's parents or family at least wasn't supportive of his aspirations when he first started music and shit. So seeing them come to his concert and shit, that's probably why, you know, he just kind of broke down. That makes sense. You know what I mean? Because it's like finally they kind of stand by his choices almost. I'm pretty sure that's what it was, right? Because I'm pretty sure Yoongi's family was not on his side when he decided to pursue music. Because I remember he did like an interview or he was talking about it, one of the BTS members. I can't remember in one of the clips that I watched.
그날 어버이날
어버이날이어서 절하시지 않으셨어요?
Parents' Day.
되게 디테일하게 기억하네
네. 그날이 전 너무 인상 깊었어갖고 꼭 여기서 공연을 하고 싶다는 생각을 엄청 많이 했었거든요.
I've heard of Father's Day, Mother's Day. I've never heard of Parents' Day.
그래서 너무 기쁘더라고요.
우리 공연 미국 공연 또 와봤었고
네
그죠.
시카고
아 그때 그 안에
네, 얼마나 귀여웠는데 애들 눈도 오고
퀄리티 찍었죠.
네.
그때도 이야기했던 게 이제 가수는 공연이다 이런 이야기를 얼핏 했던 것 같은데
네.
아니 솔직히 투모로우바이투게더는 무대 공연 이런 게 훨씬 특화된 팀이라고 생각이 드는데 이번 투어를 하면서
Like, it's so interesting when you contextualize BTS as a group, right? And then like these younger groups or these newer groups, like interacting with them. Imagine the fucking just like nervousness of these younger groups, because BTS for a lot of the fourth gen groups, maybe most of them was the guys that they saw and they're like, I want to do that as well. You know what I mean? Like probably for maybe 90% of 4th gen idols, they looked at BTS and were like, this is the field I want to get into. So imagine meeting them and having to work with them after that fact, like knowing that they're basically your biggest inspiration. Like that, it's funny because when you watch BTS, you don't realize, you know, when you watch their jokey stuff, you don't realize just how much, like how fucking big they are. Like, you know, you realize how big they are, but you don't realize the impact of that when other groups interact with them. And then you realize, like, oh yeah, these are the guys that are basically at the peak of the K-pop industry. And working with them would be so nerve-wracking.
꼭 보여주고 싶어 그런 모습 같은 게.
저는 저번 투어 때 그냥 연습했던 것만 딱 이렇게 보여드린 느낌이었는데 지나고 나니까 정말 무대만 보여드린 느낌은 사실 팬분들하고 뭔가 소통하고 더 즐기지 못한 게 너무 아쉽더라고요.
그게 어렵지. 그거에 대한 딜레마가 있지. 어쨌든 춤적 이런 것도 보여줘야 되고 퍼포먼스적인 막.
Yeah, you got to have a good performance, but also interact with the fan base.
우리도 그래서 그런 게 거의 없어. 짜여진.
It's definitely something you grow to learn, I feel like.
공연의 수가 늘어나면 퍼포먼스의 곡들이 좀 더 줄어들고 좀 자유롭게 할 수 있는 곡들이 늘어나죠. 이번에는 완전 다 아레나
스타디움도 하나 있고.
스타디움 아레나. 근데 나는 기분이 좋더라고 되게. 어때? 이 느낌이?
너무 좋죠.
진짜 이제 자랑하고 싶어요.
아니 진짜 아레나 스타디움을 할 수 있는 가수가 생각보다 세상에 많지
Yeah,
않아요.
that is a accomplishment.
좀 자랑을 해.
네, 저희도 작년 투어 돌았을 때 멤버들이 제일 아쉬워했던 게 사실 베뉴였어요. 되게 코로나 이후로 저희가 또 되게 처음으로 도는 건데.
Oh, wow, crazy.
조그맣게
아니야. 근데
돌았어서.
그렇게 하는 게 맞아. 우리는 클럽부터 스타디움까지 가봤는데.
클럽이요? 클럽에서
클럽에서 공연해봤어?
I saw this clip.
클럽
200명 들어가는 클럽.
아 진짜요?
우리는 일본 200명 클럽. 근데 나는 웬만한 베뉴의 공연장은 다 들어갔고 너네가 가는 것도 이미 우리가 다 들어가 봤다는 거죠.
That's crazy. Imagine you are a group, right? You're in a group and you start off performing in a club that has like 150, 200 people max. And then a couple of years later, you're performing from, well, like, this has got to be at least 50,000 people. Like, this is crazy. Look at this. Look at this. Just on this, in this section, I was pointing at it as if you could see where the fuck I was pointing, but just in this section alone, I'm going to say there's at least like 5,000 to 10,000 people to finally perform. Okay, there's 100,000 people. Okay, I went below the ballpark of that. Yeah, so there's got to be at least 10,000 people just here. Like that's crazy, bro. Like up there is probably at least 30,000, like 20 to 30,000, and that's wild. Look at, like, you know, that's crazy, man. Like just in this little section here, there's like 20 people. That's okay. That's wild.
근데 꼭 빠르게 큰 물론 뭐 조급할 수는 있을 거라고 생각해.
Yeah.
뭐 초동이고 막 이런.
I like how this just feels like older brother giving advice to these younger guys.
어디를 들어갔고 막 성적들이 엄청나게 되게 중요한 것처럼 느껴지지만.
But YEONJUN's smashing that shit down.
너네 내년에 사이즈가 더 커질 건데. 내후년엔 더 커지고. 항상 후배한테 조급해하지 말라고 많이 이야기를 하는데 조급하면.
It's easier said than done, though. I feel like.
팬들한테 그 조급한 게 보일 때 가수는 멋이 좀 없어. 나 또한 그랬고.
몇 년 차 때는 뭘 해야 되고 몇 년 차 때는 뭘 해야 되고 이때 1위를 해야 되고.
Not him mocking himself, bro.
그런 것들에 대해서 조금 이번 활동을 계기로 좀 편해졌으면 좋겠긴 해.
네.
좀 충분히 잘하고 있는데. 오늘 난리 났어. 스몰라이프 난리 났어. 야, 이제 좀 더 편하게 먹으면서.
Yoongi's such an interesting dude, right? Because Yoongi's got this, like, his expressions don't change a lot in general. So the first impression you have of him is like, you know, he's closed off. He's a bit stone faced. He's a bit more kind of, cold isn't the right word, but that's like, you know, he's a bit more reserved. That's the impression you have of him. But if you notice the way he talks, I feel like he's the guy that can really dig deep into being vulnerable with other people. And I think that's why this show works so well. I think the other guys wouldn't really be able to do what Yoongi is doing with this show. Not to say they wouldn't be able to do something similar, but just with the way this show works in particular, I think he's the only one who can do it. Because like I think probably the only other guy I think would do a show in a similar way, maybe Namjoon, because I feel like their brains work in very similar ways. But you notice how eager he is to get to the root of like vulnerability and the seriousness of situations in a show like this. And I think you really get that in, there's that one clip where he's talking with Jin, and I think it's when they do that vacation thing and they're talking. It's just Jin and Yoongi, and they're talking, and Yoongi's like, you know, continuously trying to get vulnerable and like make it a serious conversation, where their Jin's just trying to kind of make it, you know, lighthearted and stuff. So honestly, I think the first impression you have of BTS, Yoongi seems to be the most closed off member, but he's actually probably the most open member in all of BTS. To me, the most closed off member, and it's not a bad thing, is probably either Jin or Taehyun. Those two are like the most closed off members, which is not a bad thing. You know, it's everyone's different. But it's just interesting.
호시 씨도 그랬고 먹다 보면 좀 풀어지는 것 같더라고.
그때 엘리베이터에서 뵀을 때 호시 선배님이랑
많이 먹었어 그때. 근데 저
Who's Hoshi?
한두 병.
I'm gonna Google this. Hoshi. K-pop. I don't even know what group this guy could be in. He's a South Korean rapper. He's a member of the. Oh, he's in 17. Oh, okay. Cool. I don't remember him. I only watched a couple of videos. I mean, music videos from 17. So the only guy I remember from 17 was the short dude. What's his name? Woozy, I think his name was. That's the only person I remember from 17. And I think I remember. I don't remember his name, but I think he was the leader, and it's when they're in that hall and in the music video and they're all like dancing, and I was like, oh, he looks like crazy cunt. Those are the only two guys I remember from 17.
병 먹었더만.
두 병이요? 와.
호시는 기억이 안 난대.
Wait, what happened?
병 먹었더만.
두 병이요? 와.
많이 먹었어 그때. 근데 저 잭다니엘 한두 병 먹었더만.
두 병이요? 와.
호시는 기억이 안 난대. 작업실에 들어가서 음악을 들은 것까지는 기억나는데 그 뒤로는 기억이 안 나는데.
저거 한 잔만 더 받겠습니다.
How drunk did they get, bro?
저희가 위스키를 좋아해요.
Bro, the ice is so loud. I love it.
맨날 먹거든요.
큰일 났네. 그러니까 나는 좀 궁금한 게 내 첫인상이라고 하면 공연장에 나를 처음으로 봤던 거겠지?
저희는
시간
연습실에서 봤죠. 저희 둘이
Practice you.
8-8.
8-8 유정수 땐가.
형 2번 방 쓰실 때
어.
저희 봤죠.
아니 나 그때 이제 기억은 8-8이 너무 열악하다 보니까
아 그쵸. 아 진짜 최악이었죠.
최악이었죠.
우리는 그 연습실에 되게 낮아가지고 새벽 2시에 막 서커스를 하고 있는 거 막 에노라는 거 보면 막 날라다니고
아 그거
Just hitting your head on the top of the fucking the ceiling.
맞아가지고 이제 이렇게 하다가 학동공원 가서 했었어.
학동공원.
학동공원. 아,
지나가는 사람들이 미친놈인가 싶어.
드비에 여기.
그래서 8-8을 아는 이 하이브의 아티스트들은 너네랑 우리밖에 없겠다.
맞죠.
맞아요.
진짜 이게 짠한 얘기인데 저희가 아무래도 저희는 뭐 알바도 뭐 못하고 돈이 있는 것도 아니고 그러다 보니까 저희 유정
That's true. That's the thing I didn't even think about. So trainees or even like newly debuted idols. So if they aren't performing, I mean, like if they're not doing well, let's say, or let's say they're trainees, right? Surely they get like an allowance or something. But like, let's say they're a newly debuted group, but they're not making massive amounts of money, but they can't also get like a part-time job because they need to train and prepare and make music and do all this other stuff. So how does that even work? Do they get like a set allowance that allows them to live? And maybe, I guess they don't really need to pay rent and all that shit, right? Because all of that's provided by the company. So I guess it kind of works out. So probably their meals are prepared for them. Like, and their rent is paid by the company. So I guess that's why they can survive, even though they might not be a successful group to begin with, or maybe, you know, they're newly debuted or whatever. I don't know, I just find that interesting.
올라가면은 사이다 그 뚱캔으로 하나 나오잖아요. 그거를 물이랑 해서 물을 반반 섞으면 맛이
Okay, maybe not.
비슷하거든요.
Maybe not.
그러지
Maybe not. So their food isn't paid for in their things. They gotta pay their own way when it comes to food. So that's okay.
많이 마실 수 있으니까.
내가 공깃밥 반을 이렇게 보온통에 넣으면서.
Bro, this is like
가서 먹어.
this is like the third or fourth group I've heard a story like this saying like early days was just a struggle. So I really feel like this K-pop industry needs to fix that somehow, because like how are you not gonna, because they can't get part-time jobs either, so they can't earn extra money to support themselves, so they need to be supported by these companies. But I guess it's Hybers is like a relatively small company at the timeline they're talking about, so I guess they didn't have the resources for it, but like crazy.
어깨 이랬던 게 나 기억나.
이제
반만 아침에 먹어.
그런 느낌이죠. 사람들은 뭐 어떻게 볼지 모르겠는데 어쨌든 저희는 하이브에서 나온 가수니까 어떻게 볼지 모르겠는데 사실 연준이 형이나 저나 되게 헝그리한 마인드에서 시작을 했거든요.
그렇지, 헝그리 했지. 그래서 나는 나의 이제 투모로우바이투게더의 첫 인상은 이제 삼성동에 우리가 회사가 있을 때 애들이 막 데뷔해가지고 막 너무 피곤해하고 막 그냥 대기하고 막 자고. 근데 나는 그게 너무 안타까웠던 게 우리가 어릴 적이랑 너무 비슷해 보이네.
I definitely feel like
고생을 많이
straight after
했을
debut is probably the hardest time for every group. You know what I mean? Because like that first year, because you're working extra hard to make sure people don't forget that you exist, obviously. But then you've got the fear of like, are we gonna fucking succeed in this? Are we gonna bomb? Like, what's gonna happen here? Like, are we gonna just fade into nothingness? Like, there's all that stress, and then you're working extra hard to combat that stress, and you know, kind of carve your own place within the industry. Like, that first year is probably so fucking stressful and difficult.
것도 했고 너무 들은 것도 많아.
저희는 덕분에 좋은 환경에서 많이
감사한 마음이니까.
아니 근데 난 이제 내 첫인상을 못 들어봐가지고.
형님 첫인상이요? 솔직하게
말씀드려도 돼.
Oh, okay. What are they gonna say?
저는 형이 어디 기분이 조금 안 좋으신 거 같아요.
그때 내 생김새가 그랬어.
근데
Yeah. Nah, bro, the editors are the best things about these shows. The angry cat face.
생김새
The little angry cat. That's hilarious. Bro, honestly, no one gives the editors the credit they deserve in the K-pop industry.
그랬어.
근데 좀 중간에 마음 따뜻했던
That's
게
basically what I was saying. Yoongi's first impression is he comes off like you think he might be cold or intense or mad or whatever. Because that's like, you know, unfortunately, I'm like that as well. He's got a bit of a resting bitch face. Like, that's just a fact. And it's funny, people with resting bitch faces usually are the most like soft and like, you know, the softer, like, you know, they're like gentler usually. I don't know what it is, but people that have like a very smiley, approachable face, I find they can get mean real quick. Like, I don't know what it is, bro, actually. Like, not all the time, this is a generalization, but I'm just talking I'm generalizing it, obviously. But yeah.
이제
치킨
치킨 먹으라고. 야, 너희 치킨 좋아하냐? 이러고 들어왔다가 갖고 야 먹으라 이러고 딱 들어가셨었거든. 근데 그때 좀 설렜어요.
내가 호비 처음
He's
왔을
got
때도
seduced.
그렇고 좀 많이 그냥 갖다 줘. 그냥 어디서 이제 보이면 그냥 사서 그냥 갖다 주고. 그리고
감사했어요.
워낙
진짜.
그때면 너도 10대 정도 아니었나?
저도 그때 고등학생이었고.
그러니까
Mm.
그거를 집 떠나가지고 잘 먹지도 못해.
Yeah.
불쌍해.
연습만 막 해. 아니 근데 나는 그 이야기를 꼭 해주고 싶더라고. 사람들이 이제 투모로우바이투게더 하면 방탄소년단, BTS의 동생. 뭐 그러면서 이제 많은 사람들이 쟤네들은 좋은 환경에서 이렇게 좋은 이렇게 시스템에서 일을 시작했겠네라고 하지만 나는 옆에서 봤던 사람 입장에서는 그렇지 않았고 항상 사람들이 비교를 우리랑 하니까.
그죠.
근데
Which is
나는
unfortunate, but it's gonna
투모로우바이투게더에
happen.
열정이 있고 열심히 하고 그렇게 봐왔기 때문에.
감사합니다.
그리고 그로 인해서 잘 됐다고 나는 생각이 들어. 진짜. 왜냐하면 빅히트의 그 연습 시스템.
네.
The reason whenever someone uses that argument for TXT that they got they had it easy because BTS was like there already. But you got to contextualize it. Yes, BTS became wildly successful, but at the time that they were trainees, right? If you think about, let's say on average, the trainee time is 3 to 5 years, let's say. I'm not exactly sure how long each guy trained, but let's say 3 to 5 years, right? On average. And then if you think that, okay, hey Siri, when did BTS debut? I think it's 2020. I think it's 2013, but. Okay, so they debuted 2013, right? BTS. And if you can, okay. Hey Siri, when did TXT debut? 2019, right? Okay, 2019, let's say. The BTS debuts 2013, right? They don't get wildly successful till probably like 2016, 2017, right? So if we contextualize that these guys debuted 2019, then let's go 5 years in the past. It's like 2014, 2015, around that time, let's say, on average, they started their training system. And BTS wasn't crazy successful in 2014, 2015 or whatever, right? Because they didn't get successful, if according to the comments, until after they dropped their Wings album, which came out in like 2016, 2017. So if you look at their training, like the TXT training background, like if we look at it in hindsight, yes, they are in the same company of BTS and they have BTS as their elders, so you assume, oh, they had it easier, but they didn't have it easier because BTS was not BTS as we know BTS today, while TXT was training, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Sorry, I went on a whole fucking, like, journey, but.
사람의 그 제작 방식, 퍼포먼스 관련된 어떠한 그런 타협할 수 없는 점, 그걸 다 소화해냈기 때문에 지금까지 왔던 거라는 생각이 들거든.
그렇죠.
Wait,
그렇죠.
this stage looks like the color in the like the style in the Blood, Sweat and Tears MV, the BTS one. Gives me vibes of that.
그 과정에서 사실 수많은 연습생들이 옮기고 떨어지고, 이거 안타까운 사실이지만 많은 팀이 데뷔를 해서 다음 활동 때 또 만날 수 있는 팀이 그렇게 많지 않더라고요.
그렇지. 우리는 감사하게 생각해야 돼.
저 너무 감사해요.
물론 잘해서 한 것도 있지만 정말 운 좋게 우리를 좋아해주는 팬분들. 그렇죠. 그리고 정말 운 좋게 너무 좋은 곡들을 만났던 거라고 생각해야 돼.
모든 걸 좀 당연하지 않게 생각하려고 하는 것 같아요.
그러니까 이제 뭐 소심이나
Bro, this is so like your older brother telling you, like, just like not lecturing you. It's not really lecturing, but just kind of giving you advice, and you just kind of like listening. You're like, yeah. Like they're listening to him, and they're not like being like, yeah, whatever. That's not what I mean. I mean, they're just being like, yeah, I agree with what you're saying. That's the vibes I'm getting. It's so much like, you know what I mean?
이런 이야기들 정말 사회에서 많이 이야기를 하지만 근데 변화 안 할 수가 없거든. 그러니까 이제 변화는 필연적인데
100%.
어떻게 변하냐가 되게 중요한 거야. 내가 데뷔 초 데뷔해서 지금이 무대가 너무 좋고 나를 좋아해주는 뭐가 너무 좋아. 그러면 올바른 변화잖아.
그렇죠.
데뷔 때보다 훨씬 더 많이 변화한 거고. 그래서 변화는 필연적이다. 다만 좋은 쪽으로 변화를 해야 된다.
That's yeah. Talk your shit, Yoongi.
밴드 방송국에서 겹쳤을 때 그때 봤을 때 딱 느꼈던 게 오래가는 팀들의 공통점들이 좀 보이기 시작한 것 같아요. 그 긍정적인 변함이 존재하고 팀워크가 유지가 된다. 이게 사실 되게
힘이 제일 중요해. 힘이.
저도 갈수록 멤버들에 대한 애정이 되게 커져가는 게
우리도 그랬어.
진짜 이게 막 처음에 막 서로 안 맞고 이 팀이라는 게 저희가 어쨌든 막 평소에
Yeah, that
알던
makes
사이가
sense.
아니었잖아요. 알던 사이가 아닌데
It's like, imagine going into a group of these dudes you don't know, right? And you're expected to obviously live together, do all that shit together, but then you're also expected to work with these guys 24/7, like you're together 24/7. So it's never going to be a smooth transition. You know what I mean? Like imagine tomorrow, right? you were put together with 5 other people and you had to live with them 24/7, had to work with them, had to eat with them, you know, sleep with them, like do everything with them 24/7. There's going to be friction to begin with before you figure out how the logistics of it all works out.
같은 그냥 장소에 모여놓고 연습해 이거였으니까.
갑자기 가족이 되는 거지.
네.
한날 갑자기 한시에 무슨 도원결의 마냥 우리가 복숭아 나무 아래서
철사
갑자기
쓰고.
우리가 형제가 돼야 된다 이래서
솔직히 너무 어려웠어요.
나도 그랬어.
And I feel like the older you are, like, I think it's specifically harder for the older members, honestly. Because I feel like the older you are, the harder it would be to be able to kind of accept that change and living with these strangers. You know, because I think when you're younger, you're a bit more open to like experiencing these new things and kind of you're malleable enough to be able to kind of shift into the spot you need to shift into. I think when you're older, or when you're one of the older guys, I think it's much harder because the older you get, the less kind of changeable your personality gets to fit into certain areas, if that makes sense.
싸우는 게 얼마나 건강한 해결 방법인지에 대해서
Yoongi is a big fan of
갈등을
arguments.
두려워하지 않아야 되는데.
I am as well. I'm not a fan of arguments, but I would rather have an argument and a conflict as opposed to just let it fester.
멤버들이 너무 착하고 이래갖고 싸우는 거에 대한 그런 좀 갈등에 대한
두려움이
되게 두려움이 컸어요.
본인이 착한 거에 대해서 어필을 한다.
아니 그게 아니라 그 갈등에 대한 두려움이 너무 컸어서 저도 그랬고
그럼 누구나 그렇지 사실. 근데 그만큼 아껴서 그런 것도 있는 거지.
맞아요.
내가 상처 안 받았으면 좋겠다.
맞아요.
사실 가족보다 더 오랜 시간을 봤기 때문에. 난 남준이 13년 동안 24시간 계속
13 years, bro.
13년이야.
That's crazy.
13년째 지금 보고 계신 거예요.
아, 그럼 아까도 저 위에 올라와가지고 이제 남준이랑 그렇게 인사도 안 해 이제는. 뭐 이래 그냥.
Yeah, that's what it becomes after you like friends with someone that long.
얘네 막 빤스만 입고 다니는 거 보는 거야 그냥. 근데 그러면 나는 오히려 또 다른 가족이 되지 않나.
네.
그 가족이라는 개념이 바뀌는.
Like I got a friend like that as well. Like we basically met when we were babies. Basically, like our parents became friends before we were born because our older brothers are also friends. So I think that my older brother, who's 7 years older than me, I think he was around, I think maybe 5 or 6 when our families like connected. So my mate, we were born like 8 months apart and we went to school together. Like we went to primary or elementary school together. We went to high school together. Like we started going to the gym together for the first time when we first started working out. We played like we did sports together, like everything together, right? So that's kind of what it's like. That's that like that Namjoon Yoongi dynamic. I fully understand it. Like because we've been friends now for what 27 years, 28 years, I guess technically. Like however old I am, that's how long I've been friends.
순간이 올 거라고 생각해. 지금 너네가 겪고 있는. 그러면 이제 우리가 똑같은 목표를 보고 있지는 않을 수도 있어. 각자 원하는 바가 다를 수는 있다고. 근데 적어도 한 배를 탔다라는 걸 인지하는 순간부터는 누구 하나 빠지게 만들어도 안 되고 누구 하나 이 배를 침몰시켜서도 안 되고 그냥 이제 그때부터는 견고하게 이제 나아가는 거고. 난 그런 순간이 왔다고 생각해.
지금 딱 정확한 얘기 해주신 게 저희가 딱 이번 활동하기 전쯤에 있었던 고충이 그거였어요. 왜냐면 저랑 연준이 형은 사실 너무 정상을 바라보고 정말 가자 이거에 대한 열망이 있는 사람들이었고
이게 되게 보여. 둘이 욕심이 많은 게 보여.
아 그래요?
사실 뭐가 정답이라고 할 수 없잖아요. 그 팀에 대한 목표를 갖는다는 게 뭐 정상을 바라보는 게 꼭 정답이 아닐 수 있잖아요. 뭐 누군가는 그냥 건강하게 오래 활동하고 싶다 이런 게 목표일 수도 있고. 근데 되게 이번에 저랑 연준이 형이 우리는 정상을 가고 싶다. 우리는 획을 긋고 싶다 이런 얘기를 하면서
They didn't just want to survive, they wanted to
목표를
thrive.
가졌을 때 저랑 연준이 형이 되게 무기력해질까 봐 본인들도 아 둘이 원하면은 우리도 정상을 바라겠다 이런 멘트들을 좀 해줬어요. 그래서 그게 진짜
That's really interesting. I didn't expect that. So these two kind of led the way
제가 그것
for
때문에 좀 무기력하고 너무
TXT to be
힘들
like,
때가
let's do this.
성공과 뭔가 잘해야 된다는 압박감에 되게 시달려 있었을 때 태현이가 저한테 저는 형 보고 간다고 이런 얘기를 해줬는데 그게 사실 너무 저한테 큰 힘이 사실 너무 고마운 게 많은 멤버죠. 지금 너무 잘하고 노래도 끌어올려줬고 사실 너무 감사한 게 많은.
Honestly, I didn't even think about the dynamic of these two.
연준이가 무슨
I don't know why. Like, I've noticed the dynamics between certain guys, but these two, I've never thought of like what their dynamics like. You know what I mean? Because I feel like based on the shit I've seen so far, they didn't interact a lot. So I'm actually surprised.
빅히트 전설이라는 스포츠.
저 본인이 얘기한다고?
그냥 뭐
내가 얘기해줄까?
너무 많이
둘이
얘기하고
이야기해봐. 둘이 이야기해.
이제 놀랍지도 않아.
연준이 형이 하면 입사할 때마다
I remember this clip. I saw this.
이게
너도
어떻게
그걸 본인이 얘기한다고?
어떻게 얘기하냐면은 벽에 걸려 있잖아요.
그 붙여놨지.
네, 그러면은
붙여놨지.
그러면 연준이 저 처음 왔을 때.
I would do the same thing. I'm gonna be honest.
태연아, 저 종이 보여?
No, I would do the same exact thing. I don't care. If I earn the number one spot,
최현준. 그래서 다음 거 뭐 춤 1등 누가 돼서 최현준 그러면 그게 형이야. 그게 형이야.
아니 잘하잖아.
잘하죠.
아니야, 근데
그거는 불변해요.
근데 왜냐면은 제가 원래 사실 너무 부족했던 사람이었는데 빅히 들어와서 1등을 그렇게 해본 게 처음이었어갖고 너무 사실 자랑스러울 수 있었어.
yeah, no, I would do the same shit, bro. Like,
아 진짜.
맨날 꼴찌하는데 안 잘리는 애로 되게.
he's like, I was special in my, I was legendary in my own way.
근데 얘는 안 잘려.
That's surprising.
김남주
That's surprising. Wait, what happened?
치마를 안 쓰고.
맨 밑에 민윤기가 적혀 있는데.
Ming Yoongi was always at the bottom of the list, but I never got cut. Like that's actually, I feel like he was. I feel like he was more at the bottom of the list because I feel like he didn't care that much. Like not that he didn't care, but we know that he didn't really want to be an idol to begin. Like at the start, you know what I mean? Like he didn't really want to be an idol. He wanted to make music, but the idol thing he wasn't a fan of. I remember he even said that in one of the clips that we saw. I can't remember what it was for. Which clip it was, but I remember he was saying that. So I feel like it was more that than him lacking talent or anything.
근데 얘는 안 잘려.
슈보 형도 연습생이었어.
맞아요.
김남준, 나, 신동영 이 세 명이서 이제 항상 꼴찌를.
That's hilarious. That's actually low-key hilarious.
본인이 이렇게 맨날 물어봤던 게 거짓되지 않았어요. 그냥 본인이 진짜 제일 잘했고 그게 너무 팩트였고 그냥 저도
He wasn't just
지금 데뷔해서 할 수 있는
bragging.
얘기지만
Like
춤을 추고
he was kind of bragging, but he wasn't like bragging about something that was untrue. Like he was the number one trainee. Like he was at the top of the list. That's just a fact. I feel like when you are that and you just like you own it as well and you're proud about it, I don't think that's a bad thing. Like I think people need to be more proud of themselves because I feel like we've entered this era where it's almost taboo to be prideful about the things you do. You know what I mean? Because like when I do, like me personally, I'm not humble at all. Like I'm the least humble person in this way. Like if I succeed at something, I'm like, I did that. I'm the best at that thing. I'm good. I did amazingly. I'm very prideful. And I feel like we're in this era where it's bad to be that. Because whenever I'm like that, people look at me and as if I kicked their dog or something because they just can't hack it. People get so uncomfortable. Like I'm not talking about these guys right now, but in general, I'm saying people get so uncomfortable when you have pride and in yourself and you have like this sense of dignity, bro. Like it's crazy to me. Like I don't know, it's so interesting. Like for example, recently I went out and the person I was talking to was like we're talking about like because we're talking about going to the gym and working out, whatever. And he's like, and I'm like, yeah, I've been going for like a year. And he's like, oh yeah, you got really big for like a year. I'm like, yeah, I know. Like my arms are massive, like getting massive slowly. Like just, very, I was just like admitting it. But the way this person's face just changed as if I kicked their dog just because I felt pride in the thing that I've succeeded in. And I'm like, yeah, that's true. Because I feel like everyone would respond to that being like, oh, no, I'm not. Because I don't know, it feels like we live in this era where having pride in yourself and showing it is just such a bad thing. And I don't know why.
노래를 한다라고 할 수 있는 사람이 연준이 형밖에 없었던 게 사실.
네.
잘하니까.
저는 태연이 연생 때는 네, 한잔 마시고.
He's like, let's smash this down first. Alcohol levels gradually rise. Bro, they've had at least 10 glasses. My boy is, yeah, he's getting... This is where it begins. This is where it begins.
노력 체중시.
네. 사실 제가 같은 멤버로서 같이 달려주는 멤버가 사실 너무 감사하고
Bro,
고마운
this
거라서
man's been stroking Taehyun's leg
그쵸.
since the beginning of this
그게
episode.
너무
Is all I'm
감사하죠.
saying.
내가 못 달리면 얘도 못 달려. 근데 이제 어쨌든 뭐 그런 것들을 왜? 아,
좀 취했어요. 좀 취했어요.
기분 좋아하고
가수로서 내가 가지고 있는 감성이라는 게 되게 중요한데 연준이가 가지고 있는 그 가장 큰 무기는 뭐야? 그러면
저의 가장 큰 무기.
자신 있게 얘기해요. 아니 그냥 속 시원하게 얘기해주면은 형만한 그런 끼? 약간 스타성? 진짜 형만한 그릇을 갖고 형만큼 노력하는 사람이 없다.
아니 그 싸이 형이 이야기를 하더라고. 와, 저 토너바이트 연준이 진짜 너무 잘하는 것 같다고.
Oh, okay.
끝났으면요.
I feel like Yoongi and Sai are just like, I feel like they're low-key besties. I don't know why. Because I've noticed he's referenced Sai a couple of times and he did the song with him. I feel like they're low-key besties.
많이 해주시는데 저는 그냥 막 아직까지도 제 그러니까 실력에 대한 그런 좀 강박이나 좀 그런 게 많아갖고
그렇지.
I get what he's saying though. Like I look at my own successes in life, and you know, people always come up to me, or like in my family and friends and shit. They're always like, "Oh, that's so crazy, impressive that you did that thing." But when you're doing it yourself, you never really contextualize if it's impressive or not. You know what I mean? I'm just like, is it though? Like I feel like I can do way more. Like I feel like this is not enough. I need to go further and further and further and further and further beyond. I need to do way better things. Like I need to go harder. You know what I mean? Like that's how I am as well. So I get exactly what Yeonjun is saying. Like I understand exactly what he's saying.
너무 부족하다고 생각을 하고
아니 둘 다 잘하는데 뭘?
맞아요.
연준이 형이 사실 고생을 진짜 많이 해요.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Like you feel like even doesn't matter how much I improve in whatever I'm doing, whether it's like my YouTube content or like, you know, like going to the gym or like doing whatever I'm doing, right? It always feels like there's areas that I'm lacking in that I can always improve on. So I understand exactly what this man is saying.
찍으러 다니고 연말에도 막 댐브 이렇게 하고 사실 부담이잖아요. 역량이 뛰어나니까 분명히 할 수 있는 거지만은 근데 그럼에도 연준이 형이 사실 팀을 제일 먼저로 생각하거든요.
Which is a good thing. You can't really survive as a team if you don't think of the team.
진짜 태연이 최고의 강점은 진짜 노력과 열정인 것 같아서 이건 저도 사실 너무 따라하고 싶은 부분이라서
열정이나 노력이 되게 사람들이 뜨거운 것에 비유하잖아요. 뜨겁고 타오르고. 근데 사실 그 노력을 해본 사람이라면 알겠지만 되게 사실 외롭고 차가운 순간들이 그걸 얼마나 견뎌내는지.
한 법칙 나를 구해줘 손을 잡아줘
저는 그건 진짜 자신이 있거든요.
아니 근데 노력이라는 게 가장 큰 재능이라는 걸 알고 있거든. 그냥 우리 7명 중에 보컬 하고 있는 4명은
I think more than working hard, I think where the real talent is being able to maintain that consistency of working hard. That makes sense. Because like anyone can work hard. Anyone can work hard for 2 days, 3 days, and then that's it. And they're done. But being able to maintain that level of hard work on a consistent basis throughout the rest of your life, I think that's where that skill that they're talking about comes in.
해본 적이 없는 친구들이 활동을 하면서
That's the craziest thing, that they weren't singing, like a lot of them weren't singers before they debuted.
데뷔하고도 맨날 새벽에 나와서 연습했잖아요.
그래서
6시간씩 라이브 하고 있어.
그래서 저도 태연이
That's crazy.
얘 오디션 볼 때만 해도 노래 할 줄 모르니까 옥타브 낮춰서 그냥 불러서 오디션 봤거든요. 이랬던 애인데
아이 그럼 그게 경이로운 거지. 이런 친구에서 와 경이로운 거지. 와 얘네들가 이렇게 되네.
사실 너무 감사한 마음이에요.
You know what I've noticed? Like, not just in K-pop, but just in general. I feel like the more successful a person becomes in their chosen field, the harder they work. Like, for example, look at BTS, right? If they wanted to, they could just maintain this skill level and kind of, and they would have a successful career, and that it'd be fine. Like, they don't really need to work like obsessively every single day, you know, at this stage. But the fact that the more success that they get, the harder that they choose to work because they want to do better and better and better and better things. is, I guess, what allowed them to reach that level of success in the first place. But yeah, that's what I've noticed. Like, the more successful a person becomes at something, the more they want to improve at that thing, and the harder that they work, I feel like.
있기 때문에 그거를 이제 모아 분들이 알고 200만 장을 판매고가 나오는 과정인 건 거지.
근데 그게 진짜 너무 신기한 게 아직도 되게 노래에 대한 고민이 되게 많거든요. 춤도 그렇고. 그래서 제가 계속 노력을 하고 남아서 막 노래하고 그렇게 할 때마다 가끔 저를 오래 봐주신 분들이 그걸 알아차리실 때 너무 놀라워요. 솔직히 그냥 음원만 떼고 보면은 사실 이때도 최선을 다하고 이때도 최선을 다하니까 그게 느껴지나 싶은데 느끼시더라고요.
너무 신기한 게 뭔지 알아? 투어 돌고 오면 목소리가 또 바뀌어.
맞아요. 진짜 맞아요.
계속 바뀌어.
맞아요.
그건 뭐 우리도 그랬고 음원에서 반영이 돼. 극한에 가봐야 되는 거야. 극한에서 목이 안 나오는데 라이브 어떻게 해야 될까요? 그러면 어떻게 해? 뭐 이렇게 됐을 때 또 한 단계.
It doesn't sound healthy, but it is what it is, I guess.
소위 말하는 그
It's something that you have to do as
또
a
내가 할 수 있는
artist.
표현들이 많아지는 거야. 그렇게 됐을 때 또 되게 재밌어진다고.
근데
YEONJUN is flying right now.
호비 형 보고 진짜 영향을 많이 받은 게 열망이 있고 막
너무 잘해.
혼자
너무
무대
잘하지.
너무 잘하잖아요. 그래서
Yeah, we
진짜
saw him in the Lollapalooza
그렇게 되고 싶다.
performances. He was crazy.
내 아티스트적인 면모를 계속 끌고 가고 결국 그거를 사람들이 알아보게 되어 있거든요. 저 진짜 호비 형 롤라팔루자 무대 보면서
Oh, exactly. I was just talking about it. I was literally just talking about this. This performance was crazy. I still haven't watched the whole thing, but like I watched, I think 3 or 4 of his performances in this. Yeah, this was a crazy live performance,
연락하는 형이
man.
3명 있어요. 형이랑 호비 형, 지민 형 이렇게 연락하는데
지민이 연락하는구나. 내가 심심해서 그래. 심심한데 뭐 이렇게 후배들이랑 좀 이야기 좀 해볼까.
그게 심심한 거 말고는 사실 형한테 너무 감사한 게 그렇게 챙겨주시는 형이
그러니까요, 진짜.
형밖에 없어요. 그냥 방송이라서가 아니라 형한테 사실 너무 감사한 게 제가 형한테도 물어봤었어요.
Young is like, praise me, praise me.
약간 이렇게 여쭤봤었어. 내가 너무
Again, this is what I was saying. I'm saying to you, Yoongi is the most emotionally available, open, vulnerable dude. Like he doesn't seem like that, but he's so like, he's actually low-key such a people person, but in an introverted way, if that makes sense. Like he really does care about other people. That's what I've noticed about him.
우리 아니면 너한테 이런 얘기 누가 해줘? 라고 얘기했을 때 사실 너무 감사했었어요, 진짜. 제가 뭔가 찍고 있어서가 아니라 형한테 그래서 너무 감사했어요. 그러니까 그랬었어요.
심심하다는 건 사실 농담이고 그냥 좀 우리는 선배가 없었잖아.
네.
선배가 없었고. 우리 2013년에 데뷔해가지고 5년 차. 5년 차라고 하면 17년까지지. 2017년. 너무 힘들고. 근데 우리는 물어볼 때도 없었고. 2017년 처음으로 빌보드로 갔었고. 첫 후배가 너네였고.
So 2017 roughly is when they started really getting success then.
생각이 좀 많았었거든.
진짜 사실 이런 선배님이 많이 없다고 생각해요. 그냥 찐으로 너무 감사하고 형한테 그랬었어요.
저도
너무 감동이었어요.
진짜 이 대인배라고 느껴지는 모먼트가 있잖아요. 슈강이 얘기했던 대로
Oh, I love Yoongi,
나는
bro.
그럴 사람이 없었다. 근데 본인은 해주잖아요. 나도 저런 선배가 돼야겠다.
자, 형한테 진짜 너무 감사했어요. 항상 먼저 연락
It's
주고.
like, see, look what they're saying about me.
나한테 돌려줄 필요는 없고 후배들한테 이렇게 넘어가면
He just wants to start a cycle of positivity.
아니 그런 상황들이 나도 겪어봤다고 그러니까.
That's what it is. That's so
너무
cool.
감사했어요. 그냥 하는 말이 아니라.
그냥 공식적으로 하고 싶은 얘기.
And especially if you think about like what BTS went through in their early days, you know, with a lot of people basically not treating them well, and you know, there's a lot of, you know, that interview, the curse interview that with the hip hop cunts as well. That specific moment is one thing I'm thinking of immediately. But yeah, just in general, like the way BTS was treated in their early days, I think that's probably where this idea in Yoongi's brain came from. He's like, you know what? I'm not going to be like those fuckheads that were older than me when we were starting out. I'm going to be the senior that supports these guys and shows them like kindness and, you know, and sticks by them and helps them out. Like because I think his experiences in his early career probably really shaped that idea. And he's just generally a nice dude as well. So there's that.
선배를 뒀잖아요. 당연히 선배님들이 본인들 입으로 얘기하지 않으시겠지만
못하지 우리가.
진짜 이런 사람들이 없다니까요. 세상에 그냥 진짜 이런 7명의 사람들이 없어요.
아니야, 또 5명의 또 투모로우바이투게더가 있는 거고. 201이 5년 차 때 한다는 게 이게 대단한 거야 진짜.
그래서 사실 형들이 너무 리스펙하는 점이긴 해요.
I like how they're just all just like
말도 안 형들이 그 길을 뚫어줬기
they're
때문에
just all complimenting each other continuously. Just like this guy compliments, like, no, I'm gonna compliment you even better, bro.
했던 일이라 생각.
저희를 데뷔 때부터 사실 사람들이 가질 수 있는 편견이 많을 수 있는 그룹이라고 저는
그치.
생각을 했고
Yeah.
그리고
방탄 다음 나온 팀이니까.
네, 저희도
Yeah, exactly.
인정하는 부분이고 근데 형들과 회사가 달아준 날개를 견디기 위해서는
아니 다 깼잖아.
저희는 형들이 워낙 높은 위치.
I think they overcame it as well, because like I was talking about this in a previous video, a TXT video, but I think what's it called? When I first heard of TXT, right, I didn't even know they were in the same company as BTS. Like, I had no idea they had a connection to BTS in any way, but I still knew of them, right? So I feel like that argument that everything they have is as a result of BTS is proven untrue just by the fact that I was aware of them before I knew that they were connected to BTS in any way. So I think, yeah, Yoongi's right. They've surpassed that kind of hurdle, in my opinion.
때문에 저희가 잘했다고 생각 안 하고 사실
아니, 너네가 잘했다고 생각해야 돼. 아무도 거기서 비난할
사실
수
그렇게 말씀해 주시면 너무 감사하지만
그래,
저희는 저희 위치에서 최선을 다했고 사실 저희는 사실 모아분들 아니면은
My boy is smashed right
이런
now.
위치 진짜 우리 팬분들께서 만들어 주신 거라 생각해요. 네 그렇습니다.
힙합의 근간은 팬들입니다.
맞아요.
이게 저한텐 멤버들도 있고 음악도 있고 여러 가지가 있지만 대신에 그건 확실해요. 결국에 저희를 완성시키는 거는 팬분들이다.
아이 그럼.
이 퍼즐 조각이 딱 완벽하게 들어맞는 거는 결국 팬분들이 없으면 있을 수 없다라고 생각하기 때문에
팬이 없으면 사실 가수는 존재.
맞아요. 저희
Yeah, because there's no one to listen to the music.
이름을 가치 있게 만들어주는 거는 무조건 모아드리기 때문에 이건 진짜 불변의
모아다
법칙이고
잘해라. 저 모아봉 되게 예쁘다. 모아봉 가져와봐.
야무지게 한번 흔들어 보겠습니다.
야 이게 T랑 X 그대로네.
Like, that's so true though. Like, as talented as you could be as an artist, if like without the fans or without the people, fuck even like the idea of fans, like without people that listen to the music, it doesn't matter how nice your voice is anyway. Like, it does not matter how nice your voice is, because if it's basically like, imagine you're in a market, right? In a marketplace, right? And you have, you know, they're trying to, in the marketplace, they're trying to figure out like complete a sale, right? Let's say. And you've got like the best pitch, you've got the most amazing ideas and to convince everyone in the marketplace, right? But if no one fucking listens to what you're saying, it doesn't matter how good your pitch is or how good the thing is, because it doesn't matter anymore. That's kind of what I compare a singer to, or an artist of any kind. It's like, if no one wants to listen to the thing you're producing, then it doesn't matter how good you are. So yeah, as much as like, I'm not saying the fans are everything about an artist, but like artists that don't understand the people that listen to them are what make them. Those are the artists that eventually fall into mediocrity and just fade. Doesn't matter how talented they are.
이거 색 바꿀 수 있다고 이거 누르면 색 바꿀 수 있다고
네, 저는
네, 이거 누르면 색 바꿀 수 있다고
진짜 그냥 하는 말이 아니라 진짜 저는 모아분들 아니면
I love how much Yoongi is like just finds Yeonjun so adorable.
진심이거든요. 진짜 너무 애정하고
저도 그래요.
저희는 코로나랑 겹쳤잖아요. 이 모아봉을 보는데 시간이 되게 오래 걸렸거든요.
눈물 나지.
진짜
눈물 나지.
Online concert, crazy. So they still had concerts just with no people there? Very interesting. Imagine that though. Imagine you're like a new group, right? That's just debuted. And Corona hits. The unluckiness of that. Because if you think about it, they debuted in 2019. Corona hits in around, it started in around, what was it, November of 20 or October? Late, in Australia, it was like November, July. No. Where'd July come from? It was November of 2019 where it really just became a thing. Like they had been talking about it from like July 2019. Like there's this new virus. There's talking about it. It really just hit in 2019 November. So I'm not sure exactly in the rest of the world how it was. So they debuted and very soon after Corona hits, basically. So it's actually so impressive that they were able to become successful in the midst of such a setback.
진짜 눈물 나요.
That really shows that
멤버들이
how
놀릴까
talented they
봐
are.
진짜 꾸역꾸역 참는데 진짜 속으로 울고 있어요. 여기는 속으로 못 참는 스타일인데.
맞아요. 저는 그렇습니다. 그러니까 저는 감동받으면 이제 못 참겠더라고요. 참 얘기할 기회 한번 주세요.
He's like, you give me a chance to defend myself.
진짜 진심이라고 생각해요.
아, 진심이지 당연히.
Yoongi finds this so adorable, bro.
감사하게 생각하는 사람이고. 왜냐면 이
Yoongi is holding himself back from just pinching his cheeks. The cheeks on his face, I mean.
생각한 적은 한 번도 없어요.
그럼.
뭐 저희도 이번에 활동 끝나고 팀 미팅을 했거든요. 절대 세상에 당연한 거 없고 뭐든 감사하게 생각해라 이 얘기를 하면서 팀 미팅을 했거든요. 그 연준이 형이 되게 많이 생각하고
Yeonjun is fucking suited, bro.
저는 진짜 그때도 얘기했던 게 당연한 건 없다고 생각을 해서 저희가 지금까지 이렇게 받고 있는 사랑도 그냥 진심으로 그걸 생각을 하고.
He's so adorable, bro.
어쨌든 모아분들께서 굉장히
아 귀여워가지고 귀여워.
근데 하여튼
Yeah, he's so adorable.
하여튼 제가
I agree, Yoongi,
모든 걸
100%.
당연하지 않게 생각하려고 하는 것 같습니다.
이제 우리가 항상 하는 미래로 갈 수도 있고 과거로 갈 수도 있는데 뭐 해보고 싶은 게 있어?
Oh, okay. Wait, what's the question? If you could go to the future or the past,
과거로 갈 수도 있는데 뭐
what would you like to do? Oh, that's a tough one, eh? Future or the past? Like, I wouldn't want to go to the future because, like, I don't want to know what's gonna happen in my life. You know what I mean? I wanna live each day as it comes. So I wouldn't want to go to the future. The past. I wouldn't even want to go to the past, to be honest, because I don't regret a single decision I've ever made in my life. You know what I mean? Because every decision and every experience that I've had has forged me into who I am today, and I fucking love who I am today. So I wouldn't even go to the past to do anything, to be honest. Like, honestly, my life is pretty good, and I don't want to know what's gonna happen in the future. So I couldn't even answer that, to be honest. But I guess if I was forced to answer it, I don't know, bro. Maybe I would go in the past. I don't know. I'm not sure.
해보고 싶은 게 있어?
저는
Maybe I would go in the future, but I wouldn't look for myself. I would just see what the future's like, if that makes sense.
사실 과거로 돌아가고 싶은 마음 없어요. 왜냐면
Editing, bro. Editing is so good.
근데 미래를 보고 다시 돌아올 수 있다면은 저는 저희 딱 10년 차 됐을 때쯤 28년, 29년 네, 그때쯤에 저와 저희 멤버들을 한번 보고 싶어요.
우리가 10주년이거든.
너무 잘해주고 있을 거라는 확신이.
아, 당연 잘하겠지.
그리고 그런 멤버들을 제가
I love how the charge is still on Yeonjun's head, bro.
영감을 많이 받을 것 같아서 그때로 가보고 싶어요.
연준이는 뭐야?
저는 제 중딩 때로 좀 돌아가고 싶어요.
중딩 때?
네, 저의 비전 이런 거는 상관없이 그냥 중딩 때 제 친구들과 나눴던 기억이 너무 좋았어요. 그렇습니다.
Yoongi is obsessed, bro, with his cuteness. It's hilarious.
투모로우바이투게더.
I've never seen Yoongi like this, actually.
아 저는 이거
Okay.
형 앞이어서 얘기하는 게 아니라 진짜 사실 처음 얘기하는 것 같아요. 형들한테 자랑스러운 후배가 되고 싶었어요. 형이랑 또 6명 형들한테 정말 자랑스러운 후배가 되고 싶어요.
Oh, the collarbone, the shoulder music video. That's what I call that. I think that's Sugar Rush Ride, if I'm not mistaken.
형이 사인한데요?
이거 어떡하냐?
형.
My boy's about to fall asleep right at that table right now. Bro, he is gone. You know someone is smashed by what their hair looks like.
이거 연준이 형 사인이 아닌데.
나 모르겠다. 어우 너 죽었다.
네, 많이 맞았어요.
빅히트.
오늘 진짜 많이 맞았어요.
빅히트. 이거 어떡하냐? 이거 어떡하냐?
He is not gonna be okay. That hangover is gonna be fucked.
물좀 갖다. 아 연준이는 진짜.
형 괜찮아요.
너 안 괜찮아.
잠깐.
No, why is Yeonjun so fucking adorable?
모아한테 한마디 해. 모아한테.
안녕.
What the fuck? Oh shit, I might watch this later. Maybe another day though. Okay, so that was the Sushita episode with Yeonjun and Taehyun. Bro, that was cool. That was so cool. But I really like the dynamic between Yoongi and Yeonjun. It's a really interesting dynamic. Like I've never seen Yoongi this like just smiley and like you know, be like basically physically restraining himself from like just having that like cuteness aggression with Yeonjun. He's like, he was like this close to just grabbing Yeonjun's cheek and just squeezing them like a 60-year-old auntie or something. Like he was this close, bro. That was really fun though. I really enjoyed that. And it's really cool to see the way TXT and BTS kind of their dynamic is in a way, you know, like this is a small segment of it. Obviously we haven't seen like how every other member is with each other, but it's really cool to see the way that they kind of interact and stuff. Anyway, thank you guys for watching and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.